Stop, stop, stop. Okay, stop. Kill the music. Stop. It's not the weekend. It's Tuesday night. And this isn't going to be a full episode. It's just Tuesday night. And like many Tuesday nights, like you've heard before, I'm home alone. Mom and my daughter go to a women's study. So because the weather is so beautiful, very little wind, we're going to do the final coat of the 2 Smooth on the passenger side of this camper right now, and that'll be it. It'll be all done. The exterior will be all done. The good news is once it's all done, we'll be able to put on the doors, windows, all that stuff we've been talking about forever. So I'm doing it tonight, Tuesday night, because it'll be drying now for 4 days. So I'll feel good about, you know, screwing stuff into it and bolting stuff into it. So here we go. Okay, real quick, another interesting tidbit. I mentioned a few episodes ago that I got the trailer registration back, and a couple people asked me how I registered it because it was bought as just a utility trailer, but now it's a camper. Well, I had a buddy do the paperwork, and in the type, instead of putting UTIL for California, which means utility, he put CMPR, or CMP, which means camper, and we sent it off. I was a little worried about that. But the DMV sent it back. I got a permanent 5-year plate for it, and it was only 41 bucks, you know, 41 bucks right there. Anytime you can get in and out of a California DMV for 41 bucks, you just do it. And I know all you guys out there outside of California making fun of us in this crazy fruit and nut state. We get it. There's still a lot of conservative people out here. We live up in the desert, stuff like that. So anyway, we're going to move on to getting this thing done. Here we go. Okay, I got one. You see that thing right there? I don't know, when I'm putting on the clear, these things end up all over the camper, right? I don't know where they come from, but another disappointment. Shouldn't be happening. They come out of the can.
I was holding on like this. A black hole was behind me, and then I let go like that.
Alright. First coat tonight, Tuesday, 7:07 p.m. This is about dry. It's been about 30 minutes, and we're going to throw on coat number 4. Final coat, let it dry. Here we go. Alright, and don't drop a full tray of this stuff upside down in the garage. Did you do this? Who did it? I did it. Okay, got to clean that up and get back to work. Alright, going on 8 o'clock. Got both coats on it. We'll see how that looks. I'm still seeing a little knot action there. Got my mess cleaned up. It was right here. That'll be it for this mini episode. Good night, everybody. We're one step closer.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave this bowl for
Alright, it's Wednesday night about 6:15. Just got home from work. Just coming out to check this thing out, you guys. And it is all dry. A lot of hard work getting this done, but look at that finish. See that glossy finish? And this area here, and then this area here is where I spent the most time filling in holes, sanding it, and stuff like that. You can still see some of the seams. You know, some of the wood seams, but all in all, I think this is going to work really well. Again, going to be stored inside, only outside when I use it. It'll be interesting to see how long this lasts. But the top is all done. Looks really good. Okay. Pretty happy with it, you guys. So, that's it for my little mini midweek update. Alright, it's like 8:30. I just couldn't stay inside. I came out here and mounted these lights up here. And we'll give you a little demo here. Find the switch. Look at that. So that's just on the battery. The little 12-volt battery. These are LEDs, super, super bright. I think they were like 15 bucks for two or so. I can't remember. But look at that. Okay, so you saw me put in this electric little door gizmo. So that's cool. And then I got one window in. So, but one window's in. And we got a kid in there doing something. What are you doing in here?
Just playing a game.
Oh yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that, huh? Are you hot in here?
I am kind of.
Take care of that. How's that?
Good.
So something I didn't anticipate was these are wood screws, and that's just hokey to me. So I'm stopping production right now, and we are headed over to Lowe's or Home Depot or whoever to see if I can find some of these RV type screws that are flat surface with a beveled head, not a flared shaft underneath, which just looks hokey to me. So I was on a roll there. We were going to get this window done, we were going to get the door done, and we're still going to get it done today. I got the vent done, and I use those wood screws. Looks hokey to me. So I'm going to redo those screws. I'll get the die core, and I'll seal all that on top. We've got to go to the hardware store. Alright, these are going to work. RV, wood, white, yeah, these are going to work. So we'll get two of those. We'll get the black ones for the door. And these I just like. We're just going to get these. So the problem with modern technology and having a joint bank account with your wife is when you swipe the card at Baskin Robbins, they come and find you. And here they are. They found us. Alright, so doesn't that look better? I mean, look at, there's the lame sheet metal screws. And here's the RV screws, which I'll actually go back and touch up with some white paint. Doesn't that just look way better? And the cool thing is, even though I already had those wood screws in there, these RV screws are just about a 1/4 inch longer and they're a little thicker. So they're still grabbing the wood, so they're still going to be fixed in there real nice. That's just the way to go for me. So one of the things I've done is I've trimmed the corners off of these just so that there's not a really sharp pointy edge. And then also there's a little lip. See this little lip right here? That can't be there. So I took a little grinding wheel. I got rid of that one. So now I'm going to get rid of this one over here on this side. Alright, see if my visor cam works here. So like I said, I went and got these cool screws. And the way you're supposed to do this is you put the putty tape on the back of the window first, because that's your template. You don't want to put it on the RV first and hopefully everything lines up. So you put the putty tape on the back of the window evenly all the way around, and then you come in with your screws, and you don't want to ram it all the way in. You just want to squeeze it a little bit. You want to squeeze it a little bit. Hopefully the visor cam is catching that. In an hour, this is going to squeeze out here. So you want to barely squeeze it in all the way around. So they're not, you don't ram it all the way to the wood, right? because you want to allow for that to have some insulation in there and fill up the gaps. So you do that all the way around, and you come back in a couple hours or the next day or whenever, and you come back with a plastic credit card or something and you cut off the excess nice and clean. So I'm going to keep putting all these screws in here. This is window number 2. Let's go look at window number 1 with the right screws in it. Looks a lot better, doesn't it? And you can see this stuff starting to pop out here. And I had already trimmed this one. I trimmed it early and this stuff is still popping out. So we'll come back and clean that up. I never thought about this, but somebody could just come over here with this tool and just pop a window out and get in your camper. I guess, you know, a thief's going to be a thief, but I never thought about that. We'll keep going and we'll get these screws in here and get this window done, and then the next one is the door. Okay, I got the putty tape on the door here. That's a downhill side, doesn't matter. And I'm about to put the door on the camper right here. Now, the door came with these self-tappers. Looks like they're made for aluminum into wood. But I'm not going to use these because I fear that this self-tapping head will drill too big of a hole to really grab into the wood. So I got these at Lowe's. These are $4 for 24 of these things. Not cheap, but they're black. They have the RV head. They're very aggressive and they're going to go into the wood nice. And they have a little cutout in them, so they grab and they pull in there. So we're going to use these instead of these. Okay, people, we got the door on. I'm thinking I might put a hole there, one more screw there, one more screw there on each corner. But this thing works like butter. Look at that. It works great. Yeah, I think that thing was $300, you know, 6 months ago, something like that. So I need to get in there and check it out. So let's check this out. Alright, so we are in the camper for the first time with the door shut, the windows installed, AC running, and the door's in here. And when I sleep, my head's going to be here so I can have this open and I can kind of listen outside. And got the TV going today. I'm a little bit stoked. I was nervous about all this stuff, you know. I know I tested the windows. You guys saw me in the previous episodes. I tested the window fitment, I tested the door fitment, but I'm just relieved. I mean, we could literally use it tonight now, the way it is, if we wanted to. I think what I'm going to do is continue to just dial stuff in today, and then tomorrow even more so. And then I think tomorrow night, maybe we'll shoot out into the desert for a one-nighter. Just, you know, a little bit of campfire, marshmallows, roast some hot dogs, and then you can play with that toy I got you up on that shelf that you don't know about. It's been there for like 2 months.
Slingshot.
You didn't know that was there?
No.
That's been there for like 2 months. I kept waiting for you to find it.
Could you open it?
This is not something you play with around glass, like cars and houses, because we'll end up making friends with all of our neighbors somehow. So we will open this up when we go camping tomorrow night, and we'll set up some targets. I'll show you how to use that. Oh, you're gonna love it. You just wait. Eye protection, ear protection, proper training. That's what we do. Okay, so what time is it right now? It is
Let's see.
it's 5:20. I got it. It's 5:20.
Oh.
Saturday. We've got a few hours of light left. I'm just gonna go around and see what else I want to get done. I'm really excited. The door is on, baby. And we're in our camper with the AC going because it's kind of warm out in the desert in April. So I'll try not to make this a 30-minute video, but we'll be back in a few minutes with something else. A couple people were asking me how I was going to cover the AC on the back, and all I did was I bought a one of these doohickeys here. This was hooked to this as a door, and you could open and close it to get to your filter or whatever for your intake in your house. And I just took it off of here and I cut the hinges off of it and just slapped it on there, you know, with these awesome screws. So that'll work. You know, it'll keep the rain out, but it'll keep the heat coming out, and it just looks clean. Fits right in. Okay. It's Sunday, 3 o'clock, and we are going to take this sucker out for a one-nighter tonight. We're loading up. Got the Jenny, got the pooper, one night's worth of water, got food, a little extra, bringing some firewood, got the camper loaded, got all of our bed stuff stowed away, everything we're going to need for one night, right?
Yeah.
Now, I've had a camper big enough to fit 2 whole families in, and it would take my wife and 2 of the 4 all day to load and part of the next day. And but we got this one loaded pretty quick. Just had to kind of get our act together. Have my list right here, crossing off the list. So we're about to shove off in about half hour or so, get some gas and get our way up there. So I just figured, you know, you guys have been watching this series. We build this thing from scratch, both of us, right? I mean, it's only fair to bring you guys along for our first inaugural trip. See how it does one night. Now, it hasn't been windy for a couple days, but right now we have about 30 mile an hour sustained winds with gusts to 40, and we're headed up into those rocks where the wind is going to hit. Now, I have the option of going behind the rocks, but then we lose cell service. And I like to use my hotspot, and you know, I can work on the video tonight for you guys later this week. So we're going to end up in front of those rocks, but we're going to be right in the direct blast of the wind. So fire might not happen, stuff like that. May not be able to use our cool little Chinese table, might not happen. But they're saying it's supposed to die down around 8. So we're going to roast some hot dogs tonight if we can have a fire, right?
Yeah.
But what about the wood?
There's ants on it, on one of them.
But we can just burn them.
Yeah, but if you burn them, you know how we roast hot dogs over a steak on the fire?
Yeah.
Well, everything is made out of molecules.
Right.
Even gas. So, if the ants get burned, they'll turn into some kind of ant gas thingy. And they'll go on our hot dogs, and we might eat it, but after a few hours after it's burned out, we could cook them after all of the ants have been burned and the white stuff.
So you don't want no ant gas on your hot dogs? Okay, we'll see if we can figure it out.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go for it. So here we go. We just needed to stop by our storage unit real quick and grab a couple things, one being gas can. So we're on our way up to the rocks, and I'm doing about almost 60, and I'm just watching back there, and it's got a little bit of a wag to it if you want it to, but it's so light it's not going to do anything to me. But I can tell it's still a little tongue light. I would say there's maybe 80 pounds on the tongue, which just, you know, is not enough. So it just reinforces my belief that I need to lengthen that tongue and put a bed on the tongue so that I can put the Jenny and all that stuff up front, and that'll kind of sano it out. I'll have a deck up there. So anyway, we'll be where we need to be in about 30 minutes. On our way. Okay, we made it to our first campsite ever. Now, we're probably about 10 miles from our house, up in the woods. You might be able to see some of Apple Valley Airport over there. We've already had our first experience when we were parked, scouting for a level spot to camp. We're walking along and my son's all, "Dad, what's that?" And it's a Mojave green laying right in the trail. Alright, that is a green Mojave rattlesnake. You just stay right where you're at. You have really good eyes. And I'll take care of this guy right now. So we decided to come back down to an area that was a little more wide open. Because we were kind of trying to put the weeds up there, kind of private. So what we found basically is a big dirt bike, you know, quad area to ride in. Some jumps and stuff up here. You can hear the wind going crazy, like I said. But here we are. Tonight, if the wind ever stops, there'll be a beautiful view of all the lights down there. That's Bell Mountain. A lot of you guys know where that is from California. You desert guys know where that is. You can Google that, Bell Mountain, Apple Valley. Those you guys see where we're at. We're just up from that, you know, about 10 miles or so. So it's so windy and a little bit chilly. We are going to hang out in the camper and just fired up the Jenny. And we're just going to throw a movie in. Just relax. And you know, I could do that on the couch, but I know my boy's excited, so we're going to go in there and hang out. So as you can see, the sun's on the horizon and it's on its way down. We've been here for a couple hours, and we've been out plunking a little bit. We shot a tin can over there, and he's playing with his slingshot. So just enjoying the Jenny, got her hooked up, running everything. And we'll just take a visit here, see how it's going inside here. Everything good? Got your jammies on?
Yeah.
So we done going out?
Well, maybe tomorrow.
It's kind of cold, huh, and windy.
Yeah.
Probably going to cook a couple hot dogs on the stove since it's too windy for a fire. Alright, so gonna bunk down soon. So everything's working good. The Xbox is charging the remotes. The Xbox is working. We're watching a video, charging a phone over here, got the computer going. Phone's going off. Got a little trash can over here for a baby wipe. So everything's working. Our little panel's working. We're at 13.8 with the Jenny on low. So hanging out in the camper is it's working out. Very comfortable for a couple people. So we're about to cook a couple hot dogs. It's really windy outside. Can't do the campfire. I'm gonna fry them up right here. Turn this down. Turn this down.
It smells good.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool scratching on the camper. Put my food on mine. I put my ketchup on top of mine. Just so you know, everybody, make sure you add a sink to the camper, because brushing my teeth tonight will be a challenge.
Well, we are discovering that a little bit more storage would be good. So we've got food here. That's refrigerator. We've got dry food here. Keep it contained.
Donuts and granola balls in there.
Yep. Hot dog buns, granola bars, stuff like that in there.
Today has probably been the best part of my life so far.
Why?
Because we got to go camping. I haven't gone camping for 4 years? 3 years? Probably 3 years. Because we only camped in the summer. But now we're back in the high desert, living in Apple Valley. Good night. See you tomorrow.
So we're enjoying our lights. He's out here brushing his teeth. Got our little water source there as we get ready for bed. We'll put his bed together. So we're just about ready to go to hit the sack here, and a couple final thoughts on probably the longest episode we've made, where we finally get to use the camper. Is it over? No, it's not over. I got a lot more to do. As it turns out, I am going to swap out the axle for a bigger axle, and I'm going to lengthen the tongue like I've talked about. I'm going to actually lengthen the frame off the back underneath that cutout there so I can put a firewood rack there. And we're going to add water in the sink. There's going to be a lot more to do, so I'll update that, you guys. So, but for tonight, this will be it. We're going to hit the sack, and thanks for watching. Back to work. Look for the next one. It's been a lot of fun. See ya.